Dickerson Jr., current quarterback for Minnesota, Philip Nelson. These are guys at this venue that a plethora of them may be on their way to a potential NFL roster. These are some of the greatest players at the high school level, and it's just a pleasure for us to see these guys throughout a whole season, what they're able to accomplish, and then here today being able to play in the biggest game, I'm sure, for them, for their playing career of the entire season.
Yeah, you bring up great points, and I'm instantly reminded of last year's MVP. Brad Kaya, now playing for the University of Miami, the U.
So you had to believe that his play in that game helped him get to the U.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he was already declared for the University of Miami during that time, but it just goes to show that the level of playing here is super high.
They'll already, for the second drive, switch plays at quarterback. We do have an interview right here, but Kyle Shermer, Vanderbilt quarterback, Vanderbilt commit, if you will, is taking the field. He's out of La Salle High School in Pennsylvania. And early on here, yet another short gain by Team East, make it a 1-yard pickup. 2nd down and 9. They'll operate out of a 2-wide set. Team East is currently in a scoreless ball game. 9:26 to go first quarter. Shotgun snap goes to Shermer. Underneath pass in and out of the hands of his intended target. He was looking for L.J. Scott. Now make it 3rd and 8.
L.J. Scott coming out of the backfield in that previous play. Should have had the ball perfectly placed by Shermer, but dropped, and we'll have to move on, and it'll be 3rd and long again. So both teams not playing so well on offense.
Now, Larry Scott, he was the #1 running back in the state of Ohio, used more, of course, as a man out of the backfield. Shermer will step up in the pocket, take a nasty hit as he ran right to the midfield stripe. That was on a 3rd down and 8, and he picked up 1, maybe 2. So these are 3 consecutive drives, 2 for Team East, 1 for Team West, and all 3 of them end up in a 3-and-out.
Well, if you like defensive battles, this has got to be the game for you. Both offenses are not in rhythm, a lot of bad play. The quarterbacks are going through their progressions and not really finding open receivers. They're either overthrowing, underthrowing.
Second punt for Texas A&M commit Daniel LaCamera, and John Humphrey will take a fair catch at the 10. No, he'll elect to go and end up running backwards to the 9. That's where Team West will begin their second drive with their worst field position. And all of a sudden, another change at quarterback, I believe. Team West is bringing a new man onto the field. Now they'll sit with Sherron Jones. Boy, they are just fooling just about everybody here. Yeah. It's the Semper Fidelis All-American Bowl. They're trying to get everyone involved.
Oh, they really have to. I mean, these guys were chosen because they're the best of the best, and it seems as if I get the feel everyone's trying to make a play, trying to do a little bit too much and show off tonight, Nick.
These are 2 football teams, Team East, Team West, led by the best coaches as well in the nation, if you will. Team West, who will take the field, they're led by a man who's been there, done that, Pete Duffy out of Rancho Verde, and he has a couple players, including Sherron Jones. You got to believe that the coach, being with his quarterback all year, he has some confidence in his deep play ability.
Yeah, it goes back to just being comfortable. Pete Duffy electing to go with his main guy, Jones, and it'll be interesting to see where Jones will end up. He's a local product, like we said, a guy that we're very familiar with because he is from the CIF Southern section, a section you and I, Nick, are very familiar with. And it's kind of interesting where he would end up. When looking around and reading articles on him, he's actually leaning towards Pac-12. But all the positions at the Pac-12, all the quarterback positions in the Pac-12 are pretty much taken up, except Arizona.
Yeah, that's what you were looking at. Of course, Colorado and Arizona State are among the other schools that offered Sherron Jones, and Nebraska, Tennessee round out the 12-team list for scholarship offers for Sherron Jones. We saw his deep playability. He has the size at 6'3", 190, but one thing that we haven't seen quite yet, it's his dual threat ability. This man not only can throw, but is an excellent runner out of the pocket.
You know, one of the things I'm so impressed by him is he's actually going to get so much bigger, as Lawson will now declare.
Yeah, as we pause here, we'll go Dwayne Johnson's route out of Team East. He is the 6'6", 215-pound quarterback, as a dual threat out of Hillsborough High School in Tampa, Florida. And we will send it down to the field for his announcement for where he will play NCAA football in 2015. If you guys can't hear, he decided to commit to Miami, then open it up. And he's deciding to play football next year for the University of Virginia Tech.
Wow, that came out of nowhere. What did we predict, Nick? Let's take a look.
We obviously didn't predict that. Of course, Dwayne Johnson out of Team East, we thought he'd go to either Louisville for you or Florida for me. We were both wrong on that one, so go ahead and cancel all the reservations to the east side of the country. Or to the south side of the country, my apologies.
I said Louisville.
Yes, you did. FSU was up there in the mix as well, Florida State. Of course, we will also get the announcement for, in the third quarter, our young man Austin Joyner out of Team West. But that will have to wait just a moment. Sherron Jones on his second drive will give to Joyner inside the 15 and will spin his way to Team West's 16-yard line, make it a gain of 5, maybe 6.
So now instantly, Sherron Jones is leading a West drive through a no-huddle system.
Now all of a sudden here, switching things up, Larry Pennell will end up taking the end around and run his way for, Dan, the opening first down for the entire football game. You got to believe that that may open things up. It'll be another no-huddle. Sherron Jones, 2 for 2, getting these plays for first downs.
Hey, it's early, but I would say finally some rhythm from an offense.
Sherron Jones takes it out of the gun. Delay handoff to Larry Powell, and that run will go nowhere. Tackle made by Gage Cervanka, make it a gain of a yard.
Sherron Jones runs a spread offense, very similar to what he's doing over at Rancho Verde. But here in this Semper Fidelis All-American Bowl, the offense is not allowed to do certain stuff. No empty formations, no motion, no double tight end formations. So a little bit of, I would say, barriers are given to these offenses.
A simple 3-wide set for this football team. Team West on a second down and long, and that one will go incomplete. We're looking right now at the game rules, and it really is about an encyclopedia. That's about how long it is for all these new rules for this football game. And for these offenses to learn it in a span of 5 days, I am not surprised that we have only seen one first down. We're down to 7:30 to go. Clock stopped. It's 3rd and 9. Team West had a first down earlier. Sherron Jones guns it to the far side, tipped away and incomplete. Batted down by Mook Reynolds, and for the 4th time today, we'll see a punt.
So the offenses are still in their woe situations, just struggling. Only one first down, already halfway in this first quarter. And
we saw that pass deflection by Mook Reynolds. He's going to the same school that we just saw Dwayne Lawson go, Virginia Tech. But all of his efforts are negated as he is called for a 15-yard pass interference on that play. Do you agree with the call?
I did not agree with that. It looked like he came in right on time.
Nevertheless, another first down, this time via penalty on a 3rd down and 9. Sherron Jones is the quarterback. Larry Powell, the University of Cal commit, he will flank the QB to the right hip of Sherron Jones. He'll take the delay, give up the middle, and wrapped up behind the line. May have gotten to the line of scrimmage. Tackle made by number 13, Anfere Jennings. Make it a gain of 1.
So a defensive game, and this defensive line of the East is being very disruptive, not giving any hose for the West to find, and just being super disruptive tonight.
Sherron Jones, currently 1 of 3 passing thus far. Takes it out of the gun. Check down underneath the Larry Powell. He's got it across the 40. Sideline 45. A punishing blow right at the first down marker. He reached the 47, which is the first down make. Make it 3 for 3. This team moves the chains again.
Lonnie Powell committed to the University of Cal. He'll be coming down from Sacramento to Cal, so he won't be doing much traveling. Right there showing his display of hands.
Well, it was only a 10-yard pickup. You talk about the travel. He was able to punish a defender to the near side. Another run up the middle for 5, and we see the discrepancy between the flash and dash of Sherron Jones, the quarterback, and then the thumper, that is Larry Powell, a 5-yard pickup, and he'll flank the quarterback. A bootleg for Sherron Jones, guns it towards the sideline. He's got John Humphrey with the grab, and he'll get knocked towards the sideline. A gain of 2 or 3, make it 3rd down and short.
Sherron Jones showing us a big boy pass, rolling out to the far side. And that's actually one of the hardest throws to make for a quarterback. It's a throw while you are in motion, while you're being mobile, being right there perfectly targeted.
Delay handoff to Larry Powell, and he runs ahead for the first down. They needed 1. It's a gain of 3. Larry Powell has been extremely impressed by him thus far. 5'11", 207, and he really packs a punch.
Jeez, I would think those numbers are wrong. I know he is 5'11", but the 207, he looks a lot bigger than that. He looks like a bruiser.
It'll be a false start against Team West to back him up. This is by far the most impressive drive by any offense thus far. 5:45 first quarter. Team West is scoreless thus far, but has the football on the move at the Team East 45.
Hey, since we got a little bit of time, I got to give a shout-out to our third member who's not here. I'm feeling a little sick at home. Chris Sylvester, if you're listening, hey, buddy.
Got to get better.
Got to get better.
First down and 15 for Sherron Jones. He isn't feeling any... He isn't coming down with any sort of the weather here tonight. He'll take a deep shot going down the sideline, but over the head of his intended target. There is a flag down. Going against Reynolds was John Humphrey, the wide receiver. And if that is a flag, call it half the distance.
Yeah, it looked like the defensive back was holding back the wide receiver. And I think it was clear and obvious.
Early on, a little blow against Virginia Tech, as Lawson all of a sudden out of nowhere commits here, and then back-to-back penalties against Virginia Tech commit. That is number 21, Mook Reynolds. You look at what Virginia Tech has to offer next year, as that school is only out of this football game put together combined 2 commits. But you look at that team on the rise and really could contest in their respective conference next year, as Mook Reynolds dropped a pick. Sherron Jones threw it right to him.
Wow, Sherron Jones.
But what are your impressions of Virginia Tech for next year?
Well, Virginia Tech out of the ACC, well, they've got to compete against FSU, and FSU is now just a powerhouse. I mean, they did lose to Oregon. They got blown out.
Their first loss in 30 games.
Yeah, but it is a team that did make that first annual college football playoff, and you could expect them to compete for it again next year. So for him to be going to to Virginia Tech, he'll have to compete with that.
Obviously, they made an impression, at least among these players, as 2 commits and perhaps even looking for more as Virginia Tech. But I think maybe FSU could be potentially on the fall, which could provide some opportunities for a Virginia Tech football team.
That's so true. And then on the rise is also Duke.
That's right.
Necessarily known as a football school, but emerging.
Sherron Jones, who's undeclared thus far, may want to look at Virginia Tech, if you will. It's a 3-wide set this time. Sherron Jones will back it up, throw on the run to O'Brien, who makes a one-hand grab, and he'll end up losing 2. A beautiful loss on the play, as O'Brien snags it with about 3 fingers and is able to corral it, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Sherron Jones showing us how good he is at the quarterback position. In trouble, showing us patience. Stands tall, throws it to his last option, and unfortunately a loss of 2, and they'll settle for a field goal.
If there's anyone that could kick this one from 49 yards away at the high school level, it would be Joshua Williams, who's undeclared thus far. He was near pitch perfect on field goals in his senior season. Will elect to take this one from the right hash. It looks short, and it is. Barely got out of the end zone. No good, and we are still scoreless with 3:54 to go first quarter. Team West traveled from their own 9 to the opposing 29, all for absolutely nothing.
So a 0-0 ball game thus far, late in this first quarter, and I've got the feeling this might be a big play away from a win. I mean, this is the type of game where both defenses are playing super strong, and all we're going to have to see is one mistake, one broken tackle for a big play, and that might decide a ball game tonight.
We were taking a look earlier about the ACC, if you will. Florida State led the list. They were 8-0 in conference, 13-0 until that loss. But Virginia Tech out of the Coastal Division finished 5th out of 7 teams with a